Hi, beholder neighbors. Welcome to another edition of For What It's Worth. All things political. I am not a journalist. Okay. I am not a political pundit. There we go. Welcome to For What It's Worth. I'm your host, Ryan F. here on the Cole County Entertainment Network. Oh. If you're living under a rock, you had a runoff yesterday, Texas. The very much corruptible and corrupted and corrupt Ken Paxton. He won yesterday. No surprise. He got an endorsement from the other corrupt bastard. Look, I'm not saying every politician's like that. Maybe they are. I don't know. But he wins. And of course, the Republicans who have bashed Ken Paxton, they've taken all their anti-Paxton stuff off their website, by the way. Because he won. I'm not going to go into the details of the corruptible Ken Paxton, and you can Google it or search him by name, and you'll see. So, ladies and gentlemen, teach your kids. They're going to go into politics to be corrupt. And you might make it as a politician as well. So, but I would encourage you to go online and look at who won in Texas. Take me a half hour to go through everything, so I'm not going to. I'm going to be jumping all over the place today. I am going to say what each clip is. You can decide for yourself, and then your own opinion, form your own judgment. This is President Trump. Oh, there you go. Hello once again. Earlier today, this is President Trump at his cabinet meeting. I'm not going to tell you what the clip is. You can, for the most part, gather it for yourself.
Mr. President, Iran wants control of the Strait of Hormuz. Would you accept a short-term deal that allows Iran and Oman to control the strait? And would they have to open it immediately, or would you be open to that happening over a period of time?
No, the strait's going to be open to everybody.
And who would control it?
It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
We'll have to blow them up. Just like you did Iran. We're going to blow them up. We're going to play nice. We're going to blow them up. Because if everybody else doesn't behave, we're going to blow them up too. Of course, you have Dumb and Dumber sitting next to him, and then the dumbest is in the middle. But yeah, if Oman doesn't play nice, and if the others don't play nice, we're just going to blow them up. Form your own judgment. Where do I want to go next? Thought I had a couple more in here. Doesn't look like they loaded. Oh, this is an expert. And again, I'm not going to tell you what it's about. But this is an expert on how long it's going to take for gas prices to actually come down.
So how long is it going to be before we actually start to see some relief? Look at this. This is where we were before the war started. This is where we are right now. There's a huge amount of time that it's going to take, according to the futures market, before we get back down to that sub $70 an oil level. Look at this, 2032. So you want $3 gas again, you're going to have to wait maybe 6 years. And so what does that mean for everything? Look at this. Produce, clothing, airfare, gas, shipping, all of these rely on high gas prices, high oil prices. All of them are going to continue to be more expensive as long as this lasts.
I'm sorry, did I hear you correctly? Did you say 2032?
Yeah, so if you look at this, this tells you what the oil market is predicting prices will be in the future. We don't get back down to this level until 2032. That's the prediction. We'll see if that ends up being the case. But
Not sure if that'll happen or not. Maybe it'll come down quicker. I don't know. But Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. So who cares? The heat miser doesn't. He could care less. Doesn't give a shit. He'll tell you once the war is over, which he said it was going to be over in a couple of weeks, by the way. We're on now, what, 2.5 months, almost 3 months? Well, the Vietnam War lasted 16 years and the World War II lasted 6 years. It's just amazing. Amazing indeed. Here, I believe in this particular clip, you can form your own judgment, like I said. This is a former military op, former military guy, lambasting President Stupid.
The point here is dealing with the Straits of Hormuz. Certainly, this is a prize that Iran does not want to give up. And what do I mean by that? It was the vehicle they used to get a ceasefire when they took control of it. They have never, ever had control of the Straits of Hormuz before. They will likely open it, but what they want to do is maintain authority over it. And they are claiming right now that this is their water and Oman's waterway, and therefore they have territorial control over it.
Yeah. But Trump's a great military leader. Awesome. So yeah. I had a shitload more clips in here than I thought that was in here. I don't know what happened to the others. Where do I want to go next? Oh. Do I want to go here next? No. This was last week. Can't remember the congressman's name. This was his take on January 6th and the fund.
Those funds. People who assaulted police.
Look, January 6th is an issue that was made up in the first place.
People were convicted of assaulting police.
Well, I know made up, sir. That was a staged thing from day one.
What about it?
January
The riot
6th.
was staged?
When you had police officers letting people in the building, when you had people that's not being prosecuted, Ray, forget his name, there's no excuse for that.
Your colleagues, though, your Republican colleagues ran for their life and barricaded themselves in their chamber. Do you
Oh,
think
they
they were
ran for
active?
No, there was a riot there, but it was a self-made riot by members who hate Trump. It was made up, in my opinion.
It was made up. It was all made up. It was part of a movie. part of a movie. If you believe that, I've got some property out in the Everglades I would like to sell you. It's the mentality of the drones that suck up and stick their head up Trump's ass. Period. Let's see where I want to go next. Let's go here. I don't know what President Stupid's talking about here, but again, listen.
We're building what's called the Triumphal Arch, right opposite the Arlington Memorial Bridge, right by Arlington Cemetery. It's beautiful. It's the Arc de Triomphe would be the one that you would probably know in Paris. It's one of the most beautiful. It's a very similar size, slightly larger. We have to do slightly larger. It doesn't have to be a lot larger. Otherwise, you'd all be disappointed in me. But it's even far more beautiful. And I think that the Arc de Triomphe is beautiful. It's a couple of 100 years old, but I think it's beautiful. And some arcs go back over 1,000 years. And it's called a triumphal arch. It's usually done for victories in war and things. There are 59 of them in the world. And some are really beautiful. And we're the only major, Washington, D.C., which should be number one. We're the only important and major city that doesn't have one. We don't have a triumphal arch. So it was meant to be built for many years. The circle going up to the bridge, it was, people pass that circle, they say, why isn't something built here? And so that's very good. We just got approval from Fine Arts. That's fantastic.
Right, but you need Congress to sign off on it.
No, we don't. No, we're doing it. It's the land is owned by the Interior Department. We don't need anything from Congress.
Are you?
So he was talking about the arch, the reflecting pool, the fucking ballroom. Everybody should have one. Don't worry about the gas. Don't worry about groceries. Don't worry about healthcare. Let's put a big fucking arch up. I don't understand. I do and I don't. I understand the absurdity. But then again, I don't understand the absurdity. Like, does nobody pull him off to the side and say, what the fuck are you doing? I guess not. Here he is again, rambling about something. Again, listen,
Americans concerned about affordability ahead of the midterms. There is some backlash among Senate Republicans to some of the other priorities, the ballroom and the anti-weaponization fund. You clearly still have a strong hold in the Republican Party. Your candidates did very well this week during the primaries. But are you losing control
My
of the Senate?
candidates did well. Not all candidates did well.
But are you losing control of the Senate, sir? Are you losing control of the Senate Republicans?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can tell you, I only do what's right. I don't need money for the ballroom. I'm making a gift of the ballroom. This is the biggest misreporting that I've ever seen. The ballroom is being built. It'll cost. It was going to be $200 million. I've doubled the size of it because we need it, and it's being done in conjunction with the military and with the very much in conjunction with the military and Secret Service. We're on time, on budget. It's going beautifully. I have all the money I need. We're making a gift to the United States. They came along and they said, we want to make it the White House overall, more secure. And I understand that. Not for me, because I'll be gone, I'll be gone and you'll have somebody else in for hopefully hundreds of years. But that's what they're doing it for. The ballroom is paid for. It's a gift. I mean, I want to make it clear because so many people say, I thought you were giving this away. And all of a sudden, the money that they're spending is for security, having to do maybe around the ballroom and other parts of the house. But this is not for the ballroom. The ballroom is being a tremendous amount of what's being done with respect to the ballroom is for national security, including, as an example, a drone port on top of which was top secret until litigation made it less than top secret. but we have a drone port. We have the glass that's 4 inches thick, bulletproof glass. We have bulletproof walls. We have things. You need a place like this, but this is being made as a gift from me and other people that are great patriots that spend a lot of money. We're building what will be the finest ballroom anywhere in the world. If they want to spend money on securing the White House, I think it would be very, very much a good expenditure, but the ballroom is being built.
The fuck are you talking about? Americans don't want to hear about your fucking ballroom. They don't want to hear about your. They want to hear about your fucking arch. It's just. And of course, you got all those cronies standing around him. It's amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. Oh, here's a clip. Here's a congresswoman. I should really start writing this shit down. She goes off.
Real quick, what do you make of Donald Trump doing 3,700 stock trades in the first quarter of 2026?
It's clear he's not focusing on the American people. We've known that, but he's in it for one thing and one thing only, his own wallet and the enrichment of his family. He showed us in every possible way. So it should shock me, but I'm not shocked at all because this is who he's always been, looking out for himself while everybody else gets screwed over.
Do you think, speaking of getting screwed over, do you think that Thomas Massey lost last night because of his championing of transparency in the Epstein files?
I think that was a big part of it. I think anyone who defies this president on anything, okay, who doesn't kiss ass at every opportunity and doesn't bow down to this tyrant will be steamrolled over. And so, but yeah, Trump clearly has been protecting his pedophile friends and people who had absolutely no problem in trafficking women.
Congresswoman.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Oh, hey, what's going on here? Hey, well, that was unusual. Hey, what the hell? So there you have it. Wish more people would be like her. But here's a clip of J.D. Vance talking out his ass.
So the way most welfare works in most states and most places is we take your word for it. If you thought a piece of paper and you say,
I lie. This is actually Stephen Miller, who's even more of a douche. He's talking about welfare and how it works, supposedly.
and so the way most welfare works in most states and most places is we take your word for it. If you thought a piece of paper and you say your kids are hungry, you are going to get food stamps. We don't check as a country if you even have kids. The fact is basic as that. We don't even check if you even have children. You will just start getting the checks. And so what's happened to our country is we became a society, as we've seen with the Somali refugee problem in Minnesota, where you have a large number of people that are not following the honor system. They're not playing by the rules. They're not abiding by our laws. And the amount that has been fleeced from us is in the hundreds of billions of dollars. I believe, based on what I've seen and what I've heard, is that we could balance the federal budget if the only dollars that went out of the Treasury went to individuals who were properly, lawfully, correctly eligible to receive them. And that ultimately is going to be what we have to do as a country. In the meantime, because of the Vice President's leadership, you are seeing the most muscular, robust, aggressive, dedicated, determined, and speedy effort to shut down criminal fraud that has not only ever occurred in the history of this country, but in any developed nation.
Righto. Where do I want to go next? Oh, here's Gavin Newsom weighing in on a $1.8 billion fund for the criminals. on January 6th.
We're doing what you're doing. Good to see you. Thanks.
Governor, quick question for Midas Touch.
Yeah.
What do you make of this $1.776 billion fund that
It's a
Trump's
criminal
proposing for-
enterprise. It's not just corruption. It's not just graft. It's a full-on criminal enterprise, and it needs to be shut down. It needs to be stopped. It's a disgrace. And I count on my congressmen to do it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Probably he will be running for president on the Democratic side at some point. Where want to go next here? Yeah, is this Hakeem Jeffries, I believe? Is Hakeem Jeffries or Cory Booker last week talking about putting his 2 cents in on the whole schmagigi, all the bullshit that's going on in
Perhaps
DC.
the original, most recent sin from this Supreme Court was granting this president blanket immunity, which has given him the ability to operate with impunity, unleashing corruption that we've never seen in the history of the country. I mean, Donald Trump makes Richard Nixon look like a choir boy. It's outrageous, and it's hurting the American people. And we're seeing it with the billion-dollar ballroom now. We're seeing it with the multi-billion-dollar slush fund for violent insurrectionists who brutally beat police officers. And we're seeing it with the more recent disclosures of the stock trading ban. And when we talk about cleaning up corruption, we want to do it across the board. Our own institution, the Supreme Court, which needs an ethical code of conduct imposed upon them. And, of course, the White House, which is a Trump cartel, an organized crime entity that is unfolding in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. There's no other way to say it, and the American people know it.
And of course, the Democrats trying to get some Republicans on board to impeach Mr. Trump. Well, whether that will happen or not, I don't know. Oh, here's Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida. He was asked about, I believe in this clip, about the slush fund. And of course, he runs away.
Governor, what do you think of the weaponization fund, the DOJ fund? Could you comment on that?
Sorry, that was the DOJ fund. That's right, run away, don't answer the question, be a coward. No, I think I did that one already there. Did this one already. There's a whole bunch of other stuff I put in here, but it didn't save it. Wish I had the one about the circumcisions, but it didn't download. RFK Jr. talking about circumcisions. If you're not circumcised, if you're circumcised, and then President Trump said that he has studied all about it. Oh God. Here's another one of him going off on one of his diatribes.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. And they're rated equal.
Equal to the Congressional Medal of Honor. Imagine saying something like that. Well, it's only given to soldiers who were shot up or are dead. But we're giving it to a healthy, beautiful woman. Got a fucking slap in the face to soldiers who have been shot up or are no longer here. Slap in the face. Here is one of J.D. Vance. I forget what he's asked about. But of course, he goes on the defensive and tries to defend.
The president's financial disclosures were released. A lot of stock trades in companies that he has talked up, official events at the White House, on his Truth Social account, sometimes even putting the stock ticker symbols and encouraging people to buy their stock. Americans, according to recent polling, are increasingly describing the president as corrupt. Trading stocks.
This is a hell of a question.
Thank you, sir. Trading individual stocks is something that you said that public officials should not be able to do when you ran for Senate. How can you and your administration argue to Americans that you're cleaning up corruption, you're preventing fraud, when the president seems to be talking up stocks that he owns, selling them and enriching himself?
Okay, so here, let me answer your question here. That was a doozy. There are different ways to ask a question, okay? You could just ask a question, or you could do like a speech. Mr. Vice President, you're a terrible human being, and so is the president, so is the entire cabinet, and then your question is, how dare you? Come on, man. Have a little bit of objectivity in the way that you ask these questions. The president doesn't sit at the Oval Office on his computer on his like Robinhood account buying and selling stocks. That's absurd. He has independent wealth advisors manage his money. He is a wealthy person. He has had success in business. He's not making these stock trades himself. You're right. I am a big fan of banning members of Congress from trading stocks. So is the President of the United States. All of us believe nobody should be taking proprietary information gained from public service and buying and selling stocks. We want to ban that. We want to ban that process. And I think the way to lead by example is banning that process, banning that approach, and making it illegal, which is exactly what the president has proposed doing.
Yeah. That's it. No. Land-based at the reporter there about the way he was phrasing the question. You might want to think about phrasing your spin doctoring a little better too. A couple more, and then I'm going to get out of here. Here's one, Caitlin Collins from CNN. You call it fake news, whatever. Whatever. Everybody thinks all media is corrupt. I think she is questioning. Well, here, I'll play it. I'll judge
I think
for yourself.
that, I mean, even just as a member of Congress, as a Republican, as a person, the administration won't rule out. It's just saying that people who beat up cops that day, of which there are videos. I mean, the vice president yesterday was saying, well, maybe they didn't get a fair hearing or a fair court case. I mean, there's videos of the people who beat up the cops that you can watch that was used to convict them by a jury of their peers. Does it make sense to you why they won't just rule it out for the people who were literally beating up law enforcement?
No, it should be an easy question to answer. I don't know why they're having such difficulty answering it. I can answer it. Not a dime should go to them. Not a single dime.
Mr. Fitzpatrick there, Republican from Pennsylvania, representative. What do I want to end on? Oh, here is Scott Jennings. Another arrogant bastard. I can't remember the lady, but they're going back and forth on it, I believe, about the slush fund, $1.8 billion going to be awarded to the January 6th victim.
And he's not getting any money out of it.
Okay, it was 2 years. It was 2 years.
But it's 1.776 billion.
And 2 years after the state statute of limitations on this, it was not the federal government who did this. It was an individual contractor. The Supreme Court has ruled
just
3 times.
On his
the
own.
Supreme Court has ruled 3 times in precedent since 1911 that you cannot be the judge of yourself on anything. And so Donald Trump is sued himself to get a fund now settled with himself to get a fund where he's going to write a check for himself. We all know that this
You agree
is
with
bullshit.
The leak? You agree with the leak?
This is a MAGA victimization fund. fund that is sanctioned by Donald Trump. How dare he? How dare he? You look in the face and you justify this to the families of the police officers who were beaten, who were almost killed, to the people who were killed, to the people whose careers are ruined. I don't know about you, Scott, but I've spent time with those officers and their families, and their lives have been ruined. And unlike you, tonight you're saying this, but Todd Blanche could not say that today during his Senate hearing. Neither could J.D. Vance say and guarantee to the American people that any of those violent bastards who did that to those people who tried to overthrow our election on January 6th would not get a dime from this. American tax dollars should not go to this. This is dishonorable. It's grotesque. And anyone who tries to hide behind some kind of patriotism behind this should be ashamed of themselves. Look in the eyes of the families of the people who suffered on January 6th. You know who the victim is here? Them and our democracy. And shame on anyone who tries to justify this. And it's our dollars that they're robbing to do this. It's grotesque and despicable.
And it's also unconstitutional.
Absolutely. And I'm glad to see Jamie Raskin and the Democrats are going to challenge it.
So it's getting very, very ugly, as it always does, with the heat miser. I'm going to end it there. I thought I had a bunch more video, especially from the cabinet meeting today. Some of it was quite comical. For some odd reason, it did not download what it said it did. So, coming up at 7 o'clock here on the Cole County Entertainment Network, early evening sports buffet with the Ginch. I am Sid Ginch, Ryan Neff, your host. The Knicks sweep the Cavs. Of course, the Cavaliers said that analytically they had won a couple games. Analytically. James Harden said he still thinks they're the better team. You know, he got swept 4-0. Oklahoma City takes a 3-2 series lead. The Vegas Golden Knights swept the Colorado Avalanche. What are the Avalanche going to do in the offseason? We'll get into all that. Some other stuff. Top of the hour, 7 o'clock here on the Cole County Entertainment Network. Again, for what it's worth here, I hope you will watch the videos that I have presented to you. Form your own judgment. Questions, comments, criticisms, welcome. I'm Ryan Neff. I'm out till the top of the hour.